joining us in Bharat Marg. It's, what do you say? I have a serious question for Vinay Ji. Okay. Brampton in Canada, is it the crime capital of the world now? Is my question. You see Brazen Loots, you are going to see the um, incredible thing that happened here. Robbery, crime, hate crime. Vinay Ji, this is a question for you. Is it the crime capital of the world? But before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can. And also, friends, please make sure to subscribe the channel if you didn't already. Subscribe Bharat Marg and press the notification bell to stay connected. And also, we send out one dharmic message every day. To get it, all you have to do is send us a WhatsApp to +16479644790, so that you and your family can stay connected to the roots of Sanatan Dharma. Okay. Vinay Ji, question to you. Brampton, Canada, is that a crime capital of the crime capital of the world now?
I think so. I mean, it's looking like it's becoming the crime capital of the world. I mean, like the issue with the with the news that we see around is mostly car thefts, burglary, people breaking into houses, and people even attacking a man who is just walking into his car on his driveway. And you saw that when his mother actually came to chase those
Right.
guys
During the
away.
farmers' protest, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, this has been happening over a period of time, right? I mean, it's not just suddenly it just spiked. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm quoting something from the National Post, written in published in April of 2023. And so in that, it basically says the violent crime has technically been worse in Canada, but never quite like this. And as apparently in the 1990s, the rate of knives and bullets being driven into Canadians was far higher than it is now. But I think the statistics are a little kind of skewed, because now the people don't use knives and bullets; they actually use guns. Okay, so there's a lot more advancement in the way people carry out their crimes. And the irony of this particular crime that happened at the Bramalea City Center, on Wednesday, just 2 days ago. This was around.
You are seeing it, I guess, on the screen, right? You are seeing it on the screen. No, I muted the sound off. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Exactly. So this happened 2 days ago, and so what basically happened was, the a gentleman by the name of Evan Sosa Reyes, 18-year-old guy, was arrested. Okay, so it's a group of three kids, probably in the same age group. I think 18, because the other two escaped. They barged into this a store called the White Carrot Company, Diamond Company. So they basically is a jewelry company. They carry diamonds and precious jewelry, right? All expensive stuff. And they barge into that, and they basically it looks like they threatened the employees or whatever has happened. And because obviously the store was open at the time. Okay, and 6:30 p.m. is it's a pretty busy time, but it's Wednesday. Wednesdays are typically not that busy in a mall, right?
Mhm.
So these suspects store wearing disguises to conceal their identities. They walked in with hammers, and they apparently demanded money and jewelry from the employees there. And once the employees refused, they basically started smashing the display cases, and they removed a significant amount of merchandise. Okay, you can see that in the video actually. And
Mhm.
they brought in bags with them, and they started filling up all the loot into the
They
bags.
rather brought a sack.
Yeah. So
Like
they
Alibaba and 40 thieves.
exactly, and all three of them had bags, and or two of them had bags. I'm not sure, and they loaded up the bags, filled it up, and they were about to flee. I guess at the time the mall security. Okay, the police were probably alerted, or may not be, because the onlookers were busy taking videos, but nobody bothered to call any cops. I'm not sure, because 911 typically calls, are answered within minutes, actually. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that in the Bramley city center, in that area, they do have a police station there. Okay. So, and because it's downtown Brampton, it is city center, right? So that's where the city hall is as well, for the Bramley, right beside the Bramley city center. And the response should have been really quick, but the mall security responded, and a lady with about three or four other security officers, they came in, and they basically blocked the door, and then there was exchange and all that, and then in the whole confusion, two guys with the bags ran away, and they were able to apprehend one guy. They really pinned him down, and I'm hats off to the mall security. I mean, like, this is unprecedented, actually. I mean, like, you see this in movies. I watched a movie recently called A Mall Cop, and in that they show all this kind of stuff, right? But in reality, I have not seen anybody who is this apparent. I mean, like, very sharp and all that. So hats off to the mall security at the Bramley City Center.
But the employee will have calling bell, emergency, the siren to call the 911, and the mall security, if they are coming, I'm sure the mall should have alerted 911. Why they never showed up?
The cops took
Forget
a little
about the
while.
onlookers. Other
Unfortunately,
system.
I mean, this whole thing could have been, I mean, they could have avoided, a lot of things could have been done, right? But the problem is, like, it's all about the presence of mind at the time when you're being attacked. And
I understand, and I understand. Vinay, I understand that maybe the store owner was panicked. Okay, but
the
how
store
about the
owner
mall
might have hit the
management?
button, and that's how the security guys might have come. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
but how about the mall management? Why they never called 911?
I'm not sure why they don't call the
Or
911.
they called and the 911 was too busy to come? That's my
No,
question to you.
I don't think 911 is always very responsive. I mean, like, there's no politics here, and I mean,
No, not
police
politics, but it's a question of efficiency. That's what my question.
efficiency also. I mean, I've seen in most cases they come to the crime of scene within 7 minutes, depending on the emergency, right? Most times 7 minutes. That's basically all of the what I have heard from the statistics. And here in this case, these guys were wearing masks and hoodies, and the security officers were able to catch one guy. And I'm pretty sure, with this one guy, they'll be able to apprehend the other people. However, very unfortunate to read further in the news that on the 9th of November, which is the following day, yesterday, Thursday, the suspect appeared at the Ontario Court of Justice in Brampton for a bail hearing. Do you understand that? For a bail hearing. So I'm not sure how this works in this country, because a person has been caught red-handed wielding a hammer and threatening the security officers and the people in the store, that obviously when he's holding a hammer, and you have it on the video as well, and he's standing on top of one of the jewelry cabinets, and he's threatening those people. So how the heck can he get a bail? This should be a non-bailable, right? But I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know, but in general, bail is a norm, not the jail. You saw saying
it's become a joke. I mean, this is the reason the kind of and then guess what's going to happen? Because he probably belongs to a certain community. Those community people will come and say, "Oh, he's only 18 years old."
But his community is not visible. The person you cannot see, so you cannot say the community.
No, his name actually is very clear, and they'll probably, they may not
What is the
publish,
name?
but they will
What is the
publish.
name?
In Canada, that's another thing, right? Many of these newspapers, many of these publications and media houses, and even police, right? They normally don't publish names, but in this case, they have published the names, but then they don't publish his pictures and all that stuff. So
What is
that's
the name
apparently
of the guy?
Evan Sosa Reyes.
So, from Spanish or what?
Spanish could be, or could be black Jamaican, or I don't know. I mean, like, could be anybody. Like, I'm not sure. Okay,
It doesn't
so
matter. He's a criminal. That's
I
it.
mean, I don't want to speculate here because again, I don't want the viewers to kind of say, "Oh, you're being racist" or whatever, right? So I don't want to speculate, but it could be anyone. But we'll not know who this person is, which race he's from, or whatever. But I'm sure that people from his community will come and say, "Oh, we shouldn't." Chastise this person because he's only 18 years old. It's probably his first thing. The Canada is going through so much economic downturn and stuff like that. He's probably
Yeah,
got this
but
to feel
is that
sorry and
not
stuff.
true too? Is that not true too? People are not able to maintain their homes. Vinayji, it's a truth. People are
Absolutely.
not able to find the job. You know,
Absolutely. I mean, this crime rate has increased only because the number of people who are coming in is kind of far exceeding the actual people who come here on merit, right? Now people are coming on humanitarian and refugee status and stuff like that, and this is what's causing the crime to go up because the problem is support system, right? They don't have the support system, and guess what? After 1 or 2 years they end up doing this kind of stuff because crime is the only thing that they know because back home in their countries probably they survived with that. I mean, crime is all they know, and they've seen
it's
it
not
around, and
about
your
only
country
about.
comes, they start
It's not
spreading
only
same.
about their country, Vinayji. When you are inviting somebody into your country, you have to provide them the opportunity too. If
I
you are
agree. I
not,
mean, like, I'm
if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
not going to give them, you are bringing the young force into the
yeah.
country, but you won't give them anything to do, then
I
what
mean,
is going to happen?
absolutely. I mean, like, the thing is, when you bring somebody into this country, the refugees as refugees or whatever, right? You got to make sure that you provide them enough to survive, right? Or at least, when they come in for 1 or 2 years, let them be given an opportunity to, let the government partner with certain companies, and these people should work there as apprentices because they may not have the skills, right? They don't come with a lot of qualification, they don't have a lot of experience, so they should be given that skill of 1 year or 2 years, that way they have the Canadian certificate, Canadian experience, and then they can go and get some jobs and stuff like that. But the government doesn't have that kind of forethought. I mean,
You know what? I believe this is a very tragedy time. There is no question about it. But I want to say one small thing. Okay, when Maharaj Bali asked his father, "Is that wrong to be a donor? The person who gifts everything. Is that or on humanitarian ground or anything like that?" His dad will say, "How much is the limit for me to give?" His dad will say, whatever is your capability of the yearning defies your ability to give. You know what I mean? But it looks like Canada has chewed more than what it can, you know whatever you, as the saying goes. You know what I mean? They are trying to chew more than what they can really put in the mouth or whatever. But anyway, it's a very, very sad situation with a lot of youngsters, no job, right? Your last word, Vinay. But yeah, same here. It's not only the crime; it's a hate crimes increasing too. Threat for Air India. Yeah, you know that in Brampton Mall, Brampton, just outside of Brampton Mall, yeah, a Down syndrome person was hit. You know that, right? That
yeah.
became a big issue. Yeah, for fun by young kids.
I mean, the
So
thing
many
is,
things.
the crime rate is going up, and I just told you about the National Post statistics, and it's like it's only worsening. So I'm not seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe we'll have to talk in another video on this, but yeah, I think.
Anyway, thank you, Vinay Ji, for joining us and sharing this one, and looking forward to talk to you again. Till then, Jai Sri Ram.
Thank you.
Jai Sri Ram. I'll request our viewers to say what they like and what is your opinion on it. A lot of young workforce have nothing to do. Is that the problem? Big problem, I think. What do you say? Comment and let us know. Thank you. Jai Sri Krishna. Jai Sri Ram.